Okay, everybody, I am going to go over the do's and don'ts when it comes to tracking your calories and your macros and all of that. So by now, you should have had your macro consult or your meal plan sent to you. So that's going to give you your calorie range as well as a protein goal to hit. You already heard the macros one-on-one video, so you should know what each macronutrient is. So I'm going to go over kind of how to plug that into MyFitnessPal. I gave you the meal plan that matches yours. Now, try to plug that into MyFitnessPal and then see the different measurements and everything like that. That is a starter meal plan for you. You're allowed to stray away from it. Just make sure that you're keeping the calories and the protein in the same ranges. I also don't want you to obsess over tracking every single little thing. That's the first don't. When it comes to like veggies and stuff, I personally will leave like 100 to 200 calories of my intake at the end of the day and put that towards veggies because I don't want to have to measure that I ate a half of a zucchini or a cup of spinach. Like I just kind of eyeball that because they're pretty low calorie, or you don't need to plug all of that in. So I leave around 100, 150 to 200 calories at the end of my day just to put that towards veggies. You don't need to measure like spices. You don't need to measure like super low calorie stuff like mustard and that kind of stuff. When it comes to your big macronutrients like your proteins, carbs, and your fats, like for sure measure your proteins. So if it's 4 ounces of proteins, you're gonna level out your scale and then put your protein on it till you hit 4 ounces. It could be 4 or 5, 6, however much that your plan says. And plug that, definitely measure that and plug that in because that's more of a bigger macronutrient. Same with the carbs, like 4 ounces of sweet potato, same thing, plug that into MyFitnessPal. Make sure that you are searching the right food in there. Make sure it's not like a restaurant food or like a recipe that somebody made. Just make sure it's like raw chicken or raw sweet potato. Same with fats. When you're measuring fats, I know a lot of it goes by 2 tablespoons, or you can, if you don't want to do tablespoons, I always measure it in milliliters. So it'll give you another option, like 15 milliliters is 1 tablespoon. So again, on your scale, you can click it to milliliters, pour it until you hit 15 milliliters or whatever the serving size is for your fats. That's gonna be like your peanut butter, your almond butter, your oils and dressings and that kind of stuff. Avocados, you can measure it that way. Definitely plug those into the app because those do add up quick, especially your fat calories. You don't wanna be really estimating that because people can go way overboard. I know if some of you are measuring your almond butter or your peanut butter, 2 tablespoons is a little smaller than you thought it was. So just make sure that you're measuring all of that out and plugging it in. If you are eating the same thing every day, you don't have to plug it into MyFitnessPal every single day. You can if you want, or you can just copy it over if you like to see what you're eating each day. But for me, I personally eat pretty much the same thing every day. So I'll plug it in on like a Monday, and then I'll just like know on Monday this is where I'm on my targets, and I'm gonna eat this through the week. Unless something comes up where I'm gonna go to a dinner or something, I'll move stuff around. But for the most part, I'll just keep it the same. And then on the weekends, I do track, not as hardcore during the week, but I am very mindful of how to track or how to keep food under control, especially on the weekends. Say you're gonna go out for drinks on the weekends, that's gonna have a couple extra calories, or that's gonna add a couple extra calories onto your intake. So personally for me, I'll eat a little lower calorie during the day leading up to going out, so I have a little leeway. So say I saved like 400 calories, and that's like 4 drinks if you drink smart, like vodka waters or White Claws or anything like that. So you can kind of fit that in too. Obviously don't be doing that every single day, but go out, have some drinks without feeling like you're blowing everything out of the water. So I'm trying to think what else. Oh, you don't have to hit your exact calorie and protein goal. Like I know people will stress out about getting it to the gram. As long as you're within like 100 calories under or over, 150 under or over, and then same with protein. I would say like 10 to 15 grams under or over. that's fine. Just try to stay in that ballpark range. Don't stress yourself out by trying to hit every single gram. And another thing, which I think I should talk about, is just really try to listen to your body. If you're hungry, then feed it. If you're not, then don't. I have a lot of clients who will be like, I'm having such a hard time eating this amount of food. Like I'm so full. Like, okay, then stop where you're at. Like, don't try to force feed yourself. Some days you might be hungrier, some days you might not. It's all gonna kind of balance off in the end. Don't force feed yourself because you're trying to hit a certain number on your calories or on your protein. I would always tell clients, try to hit that protein first and then sub in the rest with the calories. But if you feel like overstuffed, then listen to your body telling you that, hey, we've had enough for today, we're good. Some days you're gonna be extra hungry, so maybe you'll eat like a couple hundred calories more those days, but it'll all balance out in the end. Don't get in your head too much about it. It's just a great tool for you to learn what is in food, the macronutrient profile of food, how to sub things in and out so you can fit foods in that you might want instead of thinking that you have to eat the same boring thing over and over and over again. So this is designed to be a lifestyle for you, something that you can do long term. It's not a diet, because a diet is temporary. I want this to be something you can do, not for 30 days, for like the rest of your life. You won't be tracking for the rest of your life because you'll have a good idea of how to listen to your body and what's in foods and what your like calorie intake should be. But it's a good starting place for everybody, just to learn like what is in food. So I hope this helps, and I hope you're having a great day. If you have any questions, please send me a message. I would be happy to help.